report and infographic will investigate the Virgin Hyperloop One project and innovatively present creative thinking to identify issues in relation to bringing this business to Australia and developing the business idea. The report will highlight the need to accommodate changes of culture, location, language, specific target market, varied ethical standards and regulations. The report will also demonstrate a sophisticated level of team skill, particularly through research, negotiation and presentation of ideas. Virgin Hyperloop One is a privately held company seeking to advance transportation by eliminating the barriers of distance and time to create considerable economic opportunities for passengers and commuters within Australia. In order to bring this project to Australia, the government has provided a generous investment that will ultimately help fund research and development of various facilities and construction. The design is a state-of-the-art tubular transit system that relies on magnetic levitation technology to transport passengers as well as cargo from one region to another. To have a fully operational Hyperloop line in Australia by the year 2025, the initial stages of development will include a fully operational line that will begin in Melbourne with a direct route to Sydney and a stop in Canberra, as this would be the shortest distance between capital cities as well as being the most populous cities expecting to produce the highest rate of travel. Following the success of Phase 1, alternative routes between other major cities of Australia will then be included as part of a grand plan to see Hyperloop transporting both passengers and cargo across all corners of the country. The Hyperloop passenger concept will include pods that are roughly 7'4", which is 223 centimetres in diameter, and will reach top speeds of 760 miles per hour, which is 1220 kilometres per hour, while maintaining its aerodynamic efficiency. In order to test various prototypes and ensure that the Hyperloop consists of a comprehensive team of leaders and board of directors who will assist in order to bring this idea into Australia. The lineup includes a Chief Technology Officer, CEO, CFO, Systems Engineer, Software Engineer, Operations and Field Operations Managers, Chief Engineer, Managing Director, Development and Hardware Engineers, all of which can be seen on the Hyperloop One 2018. These people are at the forefront of this innovative and extraordinary project. The plan is that Virgin Hyperloop One will provide increased safety, lower cost, faster travel, immune to weather, more convenient, self-powering and sustainable, not disruptive to people, the environment around it, and resistant to earthquakes. From a social impact point of view, one of the key motivations behind this project is the great alternative it provides to driving and flying.
Now we are going to talk about the business strategy for Virgin Hyperloop One. While the population is swelling and travel demand is rising, our roads and airports are congested. The high levels of passenger growth are already testing the capacity of all transportation infrastructure available. For inner-city travel in Australia, air travel currently holds the monopoly position, which represents approximately 75% of the market share, with the road and the rail less than 10% collectively. Air travel appears to be the most popular for its speed, but it's the most expensive option. It's weather sensitive and not environmental friendly. Road travel might be the least expensive, but it has safety concerns, and also been found the biggest contributor of greenhouse gas emission. Train travel, on the other hand, it's environmental sound, but the low speed makes it the last choice for travelers. Above all, we can see the demand of passengers is yet sufficiently satisfied by any current market offerings. The introduction of Virgin Hyperloop One will essentially bridge the gap and serve as a truly new mode of transportation. It aims to outperform all other competitors by high efficiency and low cost, and will be perceived as the market leader. Hyperloop's revolutionary technology requires less cost to build and operate, compared to planes and high-speed trains. A penetration pricing is suggested to gain the market share, and the first route established in Australia will be between the two busy cities of Melbourne and Sydney. Services will be provided to both leisure and business travellers. They can expect a clean, comfortable, and a quiet travelling environment with well-equipped facilities. Boarding process is going to be streamlined with more frequent departures offered. Passengers are able to get to their destinations with the least delay and congestions they ever experienced. As an innovative product, the launch strategy for Virgin Hyperloop One could be risky and costly. In order to leverage its own technological knowledge, build up the network effectively, and achieve brand awareness rapidly, an LA-owned branch office will be set in Australia with a strategic alliance built with local infrastructure authorities for a long-term collaborative arrangement.
Hi, I'm Tracy and I'm going to talk to you about Hyperloop One from Sydney to Melbourne. We propose to build a Hyperloop One high-speed travel system. It's different to air, road and rail that's currently in place. The first one is being built from San Francisco to Los Angeles. The expected cost of the San Francisco loop is $7.5 billion. Because the Sydney to Melbourne track would be longer, we're proposing it would be approximately $14.5 billion. There have been some reviews that it could be up to as much as $75 billion, but we think that's excessive. It will require 3 purpose-built terminals that cost $250 million each, because we propose to have a stopover in Canberra also. The Hyperloop is different to high-speed rail, and while the setup costs are much higher than high-speed rail, the long-term 50-year running costs of it are half the price. The reason Hyperloop is different is because it's powered by solar and propulsion technology, which has never been used before. We believe that by stopping over in Canberra, it paves the way to revitalise regional communities and can eventually have extra stops, which will provide employment opportunities for younger people to travel for university and obtain higher education. It will bring funds back to regional communities and provide employment through the terminals, the maintenance of the track, and ongoing retail opportunities that will open up from that. The terminals could potentially be built in conjunction with the new airports at Western Sydney and the new airport proposed for Melbourne, which would help reduce the terminal costs and provide greater opportunities for people to disembark from flights and engage in the Hyperloop transport system. To do this, we would need funding from state governments of New South Wales and Victoria, and also federal funding through the federal government. There is provisions in current forecasts for budgeting of up to $75 billion from federal government and 1.3 from Victorian and up to 500,000 from New South Wales government. We would also require private investment of up to $50 million per investor, which hopefully would return a percentage on profit over the long term to investors. We propose the ticket price would be $130, although with extra stops and ongoing federal funding that could be reduced, which would make it more accessible for the everyday person to utilise on a regular basis. Thank you.
To summarise, in order to meet the challenges of today's rapidly changing environment and Australia's national population challenges, we propose that the federal and state governments enter into a relationship with Virgin Hyperloop One to address its current and future challenges in housing affordability, road congestion, rising transport infrastructure maintenance costs, and social welfare. The proposed technology has been found to possess all the benefits of the current modes of transport, but without the negative aspects, with Hyperloop immune to weather, having faster travel speed, being self-powered with sustainable energy, environmentally friendly, more convenient, and providing greater safety. The design is a state-of-the-art tubular transit system that relies on magnetic levitation technology to transport the passengers and cargo from one region to another. We estimate the cost of the project between Sydney, Canberra and Melbourne to be $14.3 billion based on Elon Musk's white paper from Los Angeles to San Francisco. With Hyperloop, there will be lower maintenance costs, lower operational costs when comparing the project to comparable technologies such as high-speed rail. We expect completion of the first phase of the project in 2025, including a stopover terminal in Canberra with an estimated user base of 8.8 million people. The project yields greater benefits to society than comparable transport technologies, offers greater economic benefits to the nation, is lower in cost to produce, operate and maintain, and assists in meeting Australia's environmental obligations on the world stage. By taking action to meet the current and future challenges of Australia's population with Virgin Hyperloop One. Thank you.